everyone, it's Julie live from the Stitch Tech Studios on a Monday night. And yes, it's Monday night, 7:30 Eastern time, and I'm still working, which is okay, happens all the time. But I wanted to talk a little bit tonight about a comment that someone made in the studio a few weeks ago and our struggle at Stitch Tech with how to change that, a potential misconception. So we had someone in the studio a few weeks ago who was asking us to do a few things, just a small one-off, two-off thing. And she said, I didn't know you guys did that. Well, understandable. In the grand scheme of things, we're still new to Tennessee. We've only been here about 2.5 years, and we're doing our darndest to advertise and get the message out there about what it is that we do, but we are still, obviously we still have some gaps. So what's interesting is I understood the question, because when I first started out with Stitch Tech Services, for those of you that have heard me tell this story, it's kind of interesting. A few years ago, probably 2009, 2010, Chris bought a sports car. I think it's when he got his first Challenger. He had a Charger and then he got a Challenger, which from my view of the world, this was like a crazy car. You can only imagine how much it cost. I have no idea, but he said in our relationship and our marriage, he said, you know what, I got a toy, you should have a toy too. And I knew exactly what I wanted, and I took him right to Nashua Sew and Vac in Nashua, New Hampshire, and I showed him an embroidery machine. And it was beautiful. It was everything I wanted at the time. It was a single needle, which means one color at a time, but it did all kinds of crazy things. It had this huge arm that you put on the end of it. I could embroider beautiful things. At the time, I was doing craft shows with my sister most every weekend between September and December. And with this, I could crank out stuff and really increase my average sale for all of these fairs. Around the same time, we started to accept credit cards at fairs as well. And that machine served us well for a really long time. When did we move to Tennessee? 2014. I did a lot of stuff on that machine, but I was limited. It's a flatbed machine, so there's a difference. So a flatbed machine is like a traditional sewing machine if you have one or your mom had one. It's a regular sewing machine that literally has a flatbed, and you put the fabric through the flatbed. It has an arm that you can remove and do sleeves and legs and things, but not with embroidery. Because with this particular machine, a big arm has to go on it that a hoop hooks into, and it moves the hoop all around to do the embroidery. I can show you that another day. I don't have it set up that way anymore, but I can certainly show that another day. And shortly after we moved into our new house, Chris and I had a big talk about the future of Stitch Tech Services and how was I going to grow the business, and now that we're here and we're established, how was I going to go out and find new business? And I was honest with him, and I said, well, I'm challenged with that. I can certainly go out there and I can certainly get the business, but I don't know that I can do it. And he didn't understand, and I'm like, well, we're kind of limited. I can do polo shirts and jackets and hats and scarves, but I can't do hats. I can't do ball caps, and that's limiting us. So he said, okay, and then the research began for the commercial machines that you see behind me now. With those, we were able to expand our business a great deal. And actually, it changed the game for us quite a bit. Actually, hold on. Valerie is telling me that she can't click on the video. What's wrong, Val? Shouldn't let me. Studio is gorgeous. Thank you. I had to sit in front of the green wall today because I had it face the way that I normally face, and I noticed that my shirt is the same color as the wall, so I thought I might blend into the wall. But anyway, so Val, let me know if you were able to. I'm not sure why you wouldn't be able to actually click on and join the video. But anyway, so getting the commercial machine really was a game changer for us. So like I said, it allowed us to branch out and offer new things, because not only could I do ball caps, but now instead of one color, I have 15. Okay, the old machine was connected to my computer, but by USB drive. Okay, so I could load designs from my computer, take the USB stick, stick it in the machine, and transfer it over. That's a fine system for one machine. The commercial machines also have a USB drive, or stick rather, and for the first few weeks that we had this machine, or these machines, that's how we were communicating back and forth. And the computer's probably, I don't know, 7 feet from the machines, and it's not really that big of a deal. However, when you run a design and you need to tweak it, you need to change it, you need to adjust the colors or whatever, you now need to take the stick out of the machine, go back to the computer, adjust it, resave it onto the stick, bring it back over to the machine, stick it back in, reload it, etc. So because I am married to an IT professional, he figured out there is software that's available to network the machines together, and he was able to network the machines in a way such that I have virtual machines on the Mac. Each one is the brains for each of the machines, so I can put my designs in those machines and go from there. But back to, I didn't know you did that. So yeah, so I understand the question, because we did really start out as a home-based kind of craft show kind of business. And getting out of that kind of pigeonhole, I suppose, is a little complicated, because it feels like it's still a craft business to a lot of people, and it's not. We have quite a few corporate customers. We do quite a lot of business for people who do trade shows and, holiday giveaways. I mean, we're coming up on the holiday season, which for a lot of folks, retail season is a crazy time of year. Where it's not so much retail for us, what happens for us is some of our customers that we've had throughout the course of the year have money that they need to spend before the end of the year. So they'll reach out to us and say, basically, what can I get for this money, right? And last year we did a lot of polo shirts for trade shows that weren't even happening until the spring, just so that money could get spent. But again, this opens up doors for us with these commercial machines, because we're allowed to do bigger, heavier items, backpacks, laptop cases, hats, heavy Carhartt jackets, like crazy things that poor little one-color machine would have choked on. So when someone says, I didn't know that you did that, it kind of makes me wonder, like, what are we not doing to get that message out there? So you may have noticed we've kind of stepped up our Facebook activity. We're just trying to put more ads out there, more posts, try to reach more people. We've put a lot more local ads out. We've been doing actually some Facebook ads as well. So keep your eyes peeled if you see an ad for about us out there. I don't know that because we can specifically target it, so it's kind of an interesting thing that we've been doing. So we've been trying to drive new people to our page through things like that. Let's see. Let's go back to how did we actually make the transition. When I actually go out to meet new customers, which we can talk about more about that this week. I'm going to go out and do some cold calling, which is really kind of tough for me outside of my comfort zone. So I'm going to work on some of that. But having these machines here, the commercial machines actually allow us to work more efficiently. So adding those machines to the studio allowed us the time to focus on adding to our product line. So it was kind of a very quick growth spurt that we went through, or quick growth in product offerings. So we went from basically a single color, single needle machine to commercial machines with 15 colors that we can run crazy designs in a short amount of time. There's no stopping and starting and reloading and all of that. I basically just send the design from my computer over to the machine, and it goes, and when it's done, I have another one hoop to go on, and it just kind of, the process keeps going. But what that's allowed us to do is work more efficiently, so we've been able to add more things to our product line, like screen printing, promotional products. Recently, we got a commercial vinyl cutter and heat press so that we can do individual personalization. So one of our specialties for embroidery has always been to personalize embroidered items by putting people's names and their specialties on their shirt. Looks like I'm disconnected. All right, looks like the internet stopped there for a minute. I think I'm gone. Nope, we're still here. It's just kind of slow. But we've had to turn away folks because we couldn't do names and numbers on the back of jerseys. So the heat press allows us to do that. It allows us to personalize things. Let's see, Shannon has posted, statistically the ROI from Facebook advertising isn't there. I'm sure you and Chris have optimized your SEO, but I wouldn't do Facebook unless you notice a pickup. Actually, Shannon, what's kind of interesting is we've been doing some training and learning how to target and what to do with Facebook advertising, and we've actually increased our Facebook likes, because the point of that is honestly to increase our viewership out on Facebook, because the point is you never know who you don't know. So if you, for instance, and you know how Facebook works, if you like a post and you have your friends of friends set on your page, they'll see it, and who knows if there's not someone out there who has, their kid has a ball team that needs t-shirts printed, or a business that needs new polos embroidered. So that's kind of what we're looking for. We're looking for strictly to increase our viewership on Facebook. So that's where that is. And actually, we're doing some interesting stuff, so do pay attention to, keep your eyes peeled. We'll share all that with you as we go along with that. I think that is really all I wanted to talk about tonight, but the main thing was we have had folks who have said, what is it that you do? I didn't know that you did that. And we're really working on trying to get that information out there. So if you're not sure what we do, send us a message. We do screen printing, we do personalized embroidery, we do heat press, promotional products. We actually have some access to some really cool promotional products, and I'm going to just do a totally different video on all of that and show you some examples of some things that we have access to, because you never know. You might need some promotional products sometime. So I think that's it for me tonight. Thank you, everyone. Have an awesome night, and I'll talk to you later.